night, so save some save some Benjamins and fly there today of.
Hold on real quick. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties with my program on this side. That's completely my fault. Happens on every stream, if you guys know. But Adam, where did we leave off at? Your next adventure.
Chicago.
Chicago, you're going to be landing and you're going to be playing right away. Do you think you play better as soon as you land, or do you think you need that time to warm up?
Honestly, I thought about that, but I think I play better when I just get up and go. The whole waiting around, the anticipation, and getting relaxed. Um, yeah, but that's something I have to adjust to. So, you know, that's part of darts. You got to make adjustments when you need to.
As far as your standings for going across seas, where are you sitting comfortably right now?
I won't say anything's comfortably. I wish it was comfortably, but right now, for this year, I'm sitting. I'm in the number one spot. You know, I need to. You know, I wish I could win every event from here on out, but um, I'm not perfect. But I think if I can, you know, finish semis, maybe quarters, maybe win a couple events here and there. Um, you know, I have a good chance of staying at that number one, provided Stowe Bunts, you know, uh, not that I wish he doesn't do well, but you know, I like Stowe, good guy, but he's kind of like my. We're gonna be battling this year.
He's, you know, I would say your biggest adversary is Mr. Leonard Gates himself. Every time you guys go head to head, you know, it's good matches between you two. Are you worried about playing against him in any upcoming tournaments?
No, I don't worry about playing anybody. I mean, no matter who you play, you have a job to do, and you know that's just that. I mean, I could play the number one in the world, Luke Littler, or the an 8-year-old kid. You know, you have to win, and that's just that. It doesn't matter who you play, because once you start thinking like that, you start mentally screwing yourself up. You know, a big part of the game is mental, and if you mess yourself up mentally, you know, I always say you've already lost the game.
Yep.
You know, I walk in the door no matter where I go to play darts, whether it's a blind draw, CDC, you know, anywhere, telling myself I'm gonna win, and that's just the mentality you have to have.
What's your worst case scenario with the next coming events? Because I know me personally, when I sign up for things like the stream, I was thinking worst case scenario, you know, the stream fail and I have to restart it. What's your worst case scenario that you're looking at, you know, with these upcoming events?
Can you elaborate more on that? Because my worst case scenario would be losing out first round. I mean,
worst case scenario, more like points wise. Like what's the least amount of points you think that you can get to
zero?
To be able to maintain your number one position without losing it.
You know, you can't even say, because again, you don't know what anybody else is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, myself, Stowe, Gates, David Cameron, Jason Brandon. You know, a lot of the top players right now, they could all lose out first round.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, like, again, that's just darts. You just never know.
Now, if you make it across seas, what is the first event you'll be playing in? I want to get to the future. I want to already look at the fact that you won, you're moving on, you're going across seas. What's the first event you'll be playing in?
The first event?
Or the first tournament? Or is it just one big tournament?
It's one big tournament, it's the World Championship.
Oh, okay. Because, you know, some of the viewers don't know. There's some people that came over and they don't follow the whole dart thing and everything.
Gotcha.
So they don't know. They don't understand. give the viewers a little bit of more information when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's the World Championships at the end of the year, and there's I don't know how many if the field's gotten bigger recently, but there's I want to say it's 96, maybe 120. I don't know how many players from all over the world that compete for one title. This year the prize monies went up to I think £1 million. So that's a lot more in U.S. dollars, but yeah, we're all competing for the World Championship.
How many fellow Americans do you think will be joining you at that?
There'll be 5 total North Americans there.
5 total North Americans, not
Yeah,
just Americans, North
the
Americans.
PDC has recently um, opened up the field and given more opportunities for North American players to have a chance to be at the Alley Pally, and I think that's massive.
That is, I mean, that's really good. What kind of so there are people here in our area that do play darts. What kind of inspiration can you give to those fellow dart players that maybe not looking to get to where you are, but want to make an impact, in the state? Maybe be Arizona, maybe be California. Those types of,
What kind of inspiration can I give them,
yeah,
or like,
inspiring words, stuff like that.
well, whether it's darts or anything, I mean, if you want to do something in life, you have to put your mind to it and do it. And there's a lot of sacrifices that go along with a lot of things that you want to do in life. And again, not just darts, anything. And if it's something that you enjoy, you love, you have a passion for, you're gonna put your time into that. And I've been playing since I was 17 years old, and uh, there's been times, when I lived with my mom, I'd be hitting the board at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and all they hear is just thud against the wall. But that has a lot to do with where I'm at today. I mean, granted, there's a lot of young kids picking up the darts today, that have been playing maybe a year or two, and they just, I don't know what it is. They just have this natural ability. Some of us have natural talent, some of us don't, and some of us have to work towards it. So again, if it's something you want, if you want to be a professional football player, professional, um, I don't know, what do they have, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on Coney Island? If you want to eat glizzies for the rest of the year, I mean, you have to practice at that. Whatever it is. I mean, you have to put the time in. You have to put the work in.
Hmm.
And like just like your podcast. What is it? Nothing given.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're not given everything. We gotta work for it.
Yep. So let's go into your. I know we started off the stream a little like straightforward, right to the point with the tough question, and
Yeah, it's kind of a little weird for me. I'm like, you're kind of confusing me.
let's go into your daily routine when it comes to darts. How often do you practice on a daily, if you practice at all?
I like to tell people when they ask me that question, I don't really have a practice routine. I don't really think I practice. Um, just like I told a lot of people, I have a board set up in my living room, and I'll be watching some Netflix or something when I get tired of what I'm watching, or if I feel like throwing some darts, I get up and throw some darts. I mean, I have like little scenarios I put in my head, like, oh man, I'm playing Phil Taylor for the World Championship right now. I have 127 now. He's at 16. I got to take it out. I do little things like that. I will play 3-on-1, double in, double out to work on my doubling because I'm terrible at that.
Yeah. I
Um,
wasn't going to say anything.
yeah, my doubling sucks. I mean, if you had to ask me, a big part of my game is probably my scoring, but obviously that didn't show a couple of weeks ago. But my scoring is big, and a lot of times, hopefully, I have a big enough lead. That way, it gives me a lot of time to finish the game. But yeah, no, I don't really have an actual routine. I mean, you go on a lot of websites, or you talk to a lot of darters around, the world, states, or whatever. Everybody has their own. There are a lot of common practice games out there. I sit there and watch some people play. For instance, when I was at MSG a couple weeks ago, um, I think it was Matt Campbell from Canada, and I think it was Stowe. I don't remember who exactly, but they were playing some game, and I was just watching them. I did not know what the heck. Oh, you have 6 darts to do this and do that, and I don't know. I just throw the darts.
What's your what would you recommend for some of the dart players to a game for them to relate to and be able to practice with? Because I know when I would see you practice, you would do 101. The 101 game, or you would do. Or actually, yeah, I think it was just mainly the 101. You have, what was it, 3 darts to take out 101.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what a lot of the games are that you see a lot of people. Maybe I think what I've seen recently is that maybe you have six darts, 127, six darts to take it out. If you don't take it out, then you start from the very beginning of where you decide to start from, whether that's 101, 120 on up. Um, yeah,
What do you recommend practicing for bullseyes?
the bullseye.
I mean, like because you know a lot of people get intimidated, and I've gone to dart tournaments where people say just think it's a triple 20 or think it's a triple 19, and you might hit it. It might be a little bit more easier for you if you think of it as a different.
I guess if that's how you're set up mentally, then yeah. But uh, if people are telling you to think of it as a double one or triple 19 or something because that's what they're comfortable with, then so be it. But a bullseye is like bigger than a triple 19 or triple 20. So I can't tell anybody how to hit this or how to hit that. I guess if you're asking what is it that people can do to become more accurate or become better at the game as far as what to do. I don't have anything for a lot of people because we'll take baseball for instance. To throw a ball properly, there's really one motion to do that.
Mhm.
As far as darts goes, that people stand a bunch of different ways. People hold the dart different ways. People throw different ways. There's all kinds of setups. The only thing I say to people is figure out what's comfortable for you, and once you figure that out, then start throwing the dart, and then work on consistency. If your first dart hits off the board, throw the next two off the board and try to work on that consistency. And then once you figure out that consistency, then start working around to your triple 20s or maybe your fat 19s or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't work, watch how other people throw the darts or hold it and just the game. You're always learning something. You're always adjusting. You're always adjusting to things when maybe something's not working for you.
So like when you were in a slump with the 20s, I seen you move over to your 18s.
Correct.
Is that something that you practice a lot to make sure like okay, if I'm not hitting here, I'm gonna move over here and I'm gonna hit this one instead?
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't want to keep going at a number. Okay, let's for instance, if my dart sits flat.
Hmm.
It doesn't sit up. If it sat up, I wouldn't switch a lot. I would switch if my dart hit below the triple 20 because then it's blocking it.
Yeah.
But actually, if it hits below the triple 20 and my dart sits flat, I could land that and sit it right on top, and I could build from that. If it sits on top and it's flat, then yeah, I will transition to the 18s. The 18s for me is an easier transition because it's I'm tall. I just move over two numbers. It's just kind of right in that area. For the 19s, yeah, you see a lot of people moving to the 19s, and they go straight down because it's the next highest number on the board. But again, you want to do whatever's comfortable for you, but also you don't want to shortchange yourself and go for like, oh, 20s aren't working. Let's go for a triple six. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go for the next biggest number on the board.
When it comes to outs, now I think me and you talked off screen about this. How some of the commentators were saying you weren't setting up your outs correctly. Is that just personal, like a personal preference when it comes to outs, the way you were doing it, or were you really setting yourself up incorrectly?
Uh, don't get me wrong. I even do this in local tournaments when I'm playing cricket. I'll throw out a number that's already closed because I'm just so focused in the moment. I threw out double 20 at Madison Square Garden. First dart, like I think right before I released it, I was like, "Oh heck, wrong number," because I get so focused on hey, I have a double 20, so that's what I need to go on, and I don't know, just what I've always done. But yeah, what was the question again?
Personal preference when
Oh
it
yeah,
comes to
personal
your,
preference.
yeah.
No, yeah, a lot of outs are personal preference. I mean, you get a lot of, um, I guess you could say, old school dart players and commentators. Oh, this is the conventional way or the proper way of taking out I don't know, 100. Triple 20, double 20. I mean, that's kind of what a lot of people go for. But it's kind of whatever works for you. But on the other hand, there are numbers where you have to go a certain way in order to make sure you're still left with an out on your second or third dart.
Mhm.
So, for instance, More recently, 95, what is it, 91, 95, 93. Back in the day, it was bull first because then you could go 18, 16, 19, 17, whatever. That leaves you the double bull. These days, everyone wants to go for that triple, so that's kind of a big thing these days. But no, I like for 140, you'll probably see on TV all the time triple 20, triple 20, double 10. I like triple 18, triple 18, double 16 because I like double 16,
Yeah.
and I like double 18. So again, it's personal preference, but yeah, you'll hear commentators, "Oh, that's the wrong way to go." That may be the wrong way in your eyes, but you can still go out any way you want. But you still have to hit a triple at maybe your second dart,
Yeah.
or your first dart, So there's so many different ways out there. I mean, the one of the CDC guys, Alex Spellman, he does recently has started on his page. I don't want to say proper ways, but ways you can go out on certain numbers, and if you hit a certain number, what happens if you hit it? And there's impossible. Like the 114 I had, that's kind of one of those numbers you have to hit a specific number because there's a lot of numbers if you hit, you're screwed. I hit a triple three or triple one, I was screwed.
Dead center.
If I hit a single 20, then I still have the 94 left. But no, a lot of things are personal preference, and there are some things where you have to go out, how the book says, basically.
And what does the book say when it comes to the 114 out?
You hit the number that you're going for, because if you don't, again, 114 is one of those numbers where I think there's probably like, I don't know, maybe 5 numbers on the board that you have to hit. Or if you don't hit it, which I think Spellman said it's on the 19, 7s, and 16s, where if you miss one of those, you still have a chance at the out. Because if I was going 19s and I hit a 7, I have 107 left, trip 19, double bull. If I was going for 19s, I hit a 3, I have 111, and I can't do nothing. So yeah, there's very minimal numbers you can hit that will leave you out on 114.
What were you going for? Were you going for the triple 20?
Triple 20, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought, but I just wasn't sure. I try to, when you play, when you hit your outs, I try to like think to myself, what is he going to do? He has this set up. This is what I would do. But like you said, personal preference because everything's different.
Yeah.
Not everybody shoots the same. Not everybody plays the same.
Correct. I mean, we all know Leonard Gates is notorious for, and I don't know if he, I don't know what goes through his head, but he hits whatever he wants, and most of the time he doubles out too. So
he may end up watching this, so
Yeah, maybe. we all joke around. We're all friends. We're all good friends. We joke around about that stuff, but that is what it is.
It's just like that video I sent you about the outs not to do.
Correct.
33 left, 11, double 12.
Yeah, he says I don't know how to count. I just do what I do. I mean, I know how to count. There may be some times where it looks like I don't know how to count because, again, I didn't go how the book says, but,
So, this coming weekend, how many events are you playing in?
3.
3 events?
Yeah, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
Oh, my lordy. What are the 3 events? What are the 2 events on Saturday?
Well, they're all 501 is what we play.
Yeah, well, I know that, but I mean, like, the different titles that you could possibly get.
Different. I don't know who the sponsors are for each event. I mean, because I think the ones in Canada was sponsored by DJD and I don't know what the other ones, maybe Cosmo or something. Yeah, I don't know who the title sponsors are for the events.
All 501 events, though, huh?
Yeah, but I think one event out of each weekend we're doing something different. So I think in Niagara we did. I think it was set play. It was, oh man, I want to say it was first to 3 sets. Each set was best of 3 legs. In Canada, we did, I think it was Canada's match play, where we had to win by 2 legs. I think in Chicago, I want to say Chicago, we're doing a double in, double out.
Oh, that should be fun.
Yeah, and I like it. But I don't. I mean, obviously, because I don't like outs. But I've been telling a few people, I think that event is going to, it's going to hurt a lot of people as far as, I don't know. I really don't know because Again, no disrespect to anybody that's on tour. Everybody's earned their card. Everybody, has the right to be there. Uh, you could have a top player lose to the 64 player. Why? Because they didn't dart in, and the number 64 player did. Heck, number 64 player could win the event. Because if you don't dart in and dart out, in this case, you don't win. I could throw 1080s all day, or 100, whatever it may be, 100 average, and if I can't dart out, what's the point?
Yeah, don't mean nothing if you can't dart out. Can't hit that big one at the end.
That's right.
So
don't matter if you win by a mile or an inch, right?
Winning's winning. The big question I wanted to ask you is, what does it feel like to be in the spotlight that you're in most recently? Winning the titles, basically just coming out of nowhere, coming into the dart scene out of nowhere, and that's what a lot of the commenters say at these big events. How does that make you feel?
I won't say, and again, you're saying what the commentators say. I don't think I've come out of nowhere. I've been on the dart scene since I think my first tournament was 21. I played the first CDC in 2021 when they had the last on-site qualifier, and I won that event. And people say, "Oh, where did this guy come from?" Yada yada yada. But everybody there knew me. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I played a lot of the ADO tournaments, traveled here and there, qualified for some of the national events, but I just didn't go to CDC.
Yeah.
Why? Because my work schedule. I worked at a different location. Thankfully, my current job, works with me. I know they probably get a little tired of me being gone a lot, but hopefully I'll be gone a lot more at the beginning of the year. We'll see how that goes at the beginning of the year. But yeah, I can't say, I really can't answer that question because I'm not new to the scene.
Yeah.
I'm new to the CDC. Well, I don't want to say I'm not. I guess I am. A couple of years. But I'm not new to the dart world at all. I know what I'm capable of. It's progressively gotten better, as probably everybody's darts do. But no, I'm not new to the scene.
How do you feel about your upcoming spotlight? I mean, that was the question I wanted to highlight.
Upcoming spotlight. What?
Well, because you're not new to the scene, but most recently, your fan base has been growing more and more within the past year.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It comes with being in the position that you're in, and you just got to deal with it. Yeah, there may be some things I don't know that you dislike, but hey, you just got to go with it, man. Just got to go with it. It comes with it, and on the big stages in Europe, you get a lot of booing, cheering, whistling is a big thing right now, and not everybody's mind's different. For me, it comes along with they're fans and we're the performers, the entertainers, whatever it may be, and just like football, baseball, soccer / football, however you want to call it, whatever's proper in America or Europe. Everybody has fans,
Yep.
and they're gonna boo you. They're gonna say things, and if you feed into that, it's just gonna get worse for you.
Have you had any? Oh, before I ask this question, this is your last chance to get into the free giveaway, everybody. I will not be accepting any more comments in another minute, and we'll be doing the giveaway here in about 10 minutes. Do you have any crazed fans yet?
Crazed fans?
Crazed fans that will go crazy if you don't do something right, if you don't talk to them, if you don't acknowledge them or anything like that.
Not that I know of.
Not yet, huh?
Not yet. I mean, no, not yet. I mean, there was times, it happened last year, and, that's what happens after you play on stage in Madison Square Garden. I'm a fan of darts, first and foremost. I like darts. So when I'm done playing, I'll go right out there and start watching it. But when you go out there, you better be prepared for everybody to come up to you, want pictures, sign this, sign that. Can you talk to this? And there's one instance, and I'd have to thank Anthony Eugenia, for kind of bringing it up to me. He's part of the CDC. Um, I had just woken up after my match on Saturday, and I think I woke up at 10. I was into the semifinals of the U.S. Masters, and
Hmm.
so I'm not when I first wake up, I'm not very joyful or happy, I
You're
guess
not
you
a
could
very
say.
pleasant person.
Yeah. So I guess you could see it on my face. I walked in, and people were coming up wanting this, pictures, and I was just like, I just woke up. I want to go to my seat. But again, that comes with the game,
Mhm.
and that's just that. You got to deal with it.
What's
I
the
mean, you don't have to deal with it, but if you don't deal with it, you're gonna be labeled, and
you don't want that.
yeah, no, nobody wants that. I don't think. But
I had seen when you went out to Manhattan that you did a fundraiser event with MS or is it MVG, right?
yeah, we're talking about MSG, all these abbreviations.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Van Goren.
Yeah, Michael Van Gerwen. How did that event go? And will you be doing any more future events like that?
I really don't know. That was kind of set up by the owner of that hobby store
Uh-huh.
for a fellow dart player's son who's going through some tough times. So it's just a fundraiser to help the family out. Whether I'm sure there's going to be, they just had a 24-hour dartathon started 2 days ago or yesterday, just ended today. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's all sorts of things that are set up, and we're just told to be here or be there, and we're there.
Would you be willing to do more events like that?
Absolutely,
What's
it's for a good cause.
Oh yeah, it's always for a good
Yeah.
it's always for a good cause. Um, you have to comment on the giveaway video, and like I said, that's time frame has passed. Unfortunately, sorry. There's been a lot of posts about that throughout the week, and today there was multiple posts about it. So if you missed the
Man, just let them
entry,
comment, man. That's more promotion for your page, man.
well,
Dang.
the link is in the description. If you go to the link, or if you go in the description, click on the link, comment. We're almost done here, so get your last comments in
And
as quick as
whoever
you can.
that is, and if they win, thank me.
Yeah. And for those of you guys that don't know, if you guys have just joined and you guys don't know what's being given away, a free pair of Adam Sevada autographed, his own autograph, you know. Could have copied somebody else's, but he did his own for you guys. Autographed darts. And he's also throwing in a free pair of flights to go along with those darts. So get your last entries in now.
Some
For
of the best flights on the market right there, those fusions.
what makes them the best.
Just came out with a new style. They're called the arrows or something, but I mean, it's a good system. It's a one-piece system.
I was gonna say
The flexibility when if you're tight, if your grouping is tight, it allows the shaft to flex quite a bit, and it goes right back to its original shape.
I know when you first started, it was the shaft and then the flights. What with this all-in-one
And I'm
system?
not saying that just because the sponsor and all that. It really is a very good design.
You're shouting out the sponsor. You got to do it. Just kidding. The all-in-one system. What makes it better?
Well, for starters, I mean, if you break a flight, in a big match or any match, I mean, it's very easy just to twist back on and get on with the game. Um, the the stem and the flight, the two-piece system, um, the old school style, you're sitting there, trying to get the flight into the stem, and they do have some other systems where they just kind of pop onto the stem, but again, it's just one piece. You don't have to deal with two pieces; just one piece.
What's the overall advantage of this entire dart system with your darts and the one all-in-one system? Would you say over your previous darts that you used to have?
Uh, for me, I mean, the design of the barrel is it's amazing. I mean, not only is it you know attractive, flashy, it's also it's functional. You know, it works well. Um, a lot of grip. It's not too. It may look very aggressive, but it really isn't. You know, it's a thinner barrel in diameter, therefore you know tighter grouping, um, and you know it just works well for me. The system, the fight system again, it's one piece, so I like it. I recently switched over to that last year. I was using a two-piece system before, but I wasn't too sure how the one piece would work. And right when I used it and I threw my first dart, the way my dart sat, I loved it. It was perfect.
Didn't you, if I remember correctly from last year, didn't you transition to that dart in the middle of like a match?
It wasn't in the middle of the match. It was in the middle of the CDC tour when I went to Indianapolis.
That's what it was.
That
Yeah.
was the first time I used that system.
Eh,
But obviously, I had used it at home prior to me going, and actually, that's when I won. I think it was the last weekend of last year's tour, and where I needed to at least win an event to try to give myself a spot at the Alley Pally, and I missed it by 2 points. Um, but that was the first weekend, which was the last weekend that I used that system.
Awesome. And what is your? I know we talked about it before, but your design on this. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally like it because it looks like it's made for, in my eyes, it's made for men and women. One, because of the color. You know, the color is really catching. It's a nice eye popping color. And then the barrel design, like I had said, was it looks like gears. You know, like a work head. You know, somebody would that actually works on cars and something. That's how it looks to me. And I really enjoy that design. What was your thought process when you were coming up with the design?
So working with the engineers on it, I you know obviously there's a business side of it, and there's also you know it's got to be functional for the player.
Hmm.
So you know for me, I look at both sides, and I said I want something that's going to sell, and want something that's going to be functional. I said I'm open to new ideas, but this is the shape I want. These are the dimensions I want. Um, yeah, and just went from there. I mean, there was a few designs prior to that, but that's the one I settled on, and I approved.
Sevada approved.
Yeah.
The Reaper
I mean, why? I
approved.
mean, let's be honest. You're not going to use something that you don't like, right?
Oh no.
That's it. You when you go out and buy a car, you buy what you want.
Oh, most
You know,
definitely.
unless you're given like a Lamborghini for free. Or, I mean, yeah, of course. But you know, you're using it, and you know, it's got to work for you.
And these are some of the hottest darts on the market, correct? Excuse me.
I mean, that's what they say. I guess.
That's what they say. And somebody tonight is going to win them. So let's go ahead and get that raffle going. Adam, thank you for stopping in. Let's go ahead and set this
Thank you
up
for
real
having
quick.
me.
Let's see how many viewers we actually had, or how many comments we had on this. And that's it, everybody. I have loaded the comments into the picker. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. There might be another giveaway later on at another time. But that is it. I've officially closed it. We are going to run the giveaway. Yep. And I think there we go. I had to turn the mic on. Mics are still on both sides, so just so we had a total of 27 comments, everybody. Thank you guys all for commenting. That's a lot. That's a lot. We'll do a wheel. Shall we do a wheel? Wheel of Fortune style, everybody. 27 comments. Everybody participated. Everybody's comments are loaded in. You guys will get to see it live. Here we go, everybody. Good luck. And the winner of the free autographed Reaper darts goes to Vanjie Skaggs, winning the free Reaper autographed darts. Congratulations, Vanjie. Go ahead and reach out to me. I think you have me on Facebook. If you don't, go ahead and follow me on Facebook, Mr. and Mrs. Sharp. Send me a message, and we'll get those darts right out to you. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in, checking out the live stream, the premiere of Nothing Given. And if you know somebody that's involved in sports, a business, going to school, whatever it may be, that you want them to be highlighted onto this channel, and we can talk about what struggles they had to go through, what their ultimate goals are in the end, reach out to me and we can get them onto the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in to Nothing Given, and we'll see you in the next